All right, guys, we have another massive Epstein bombshell here for you. So this is reported by The Telegraph. They say, exclusive, Epstein loved life too much to kill himself and was confident of securing bail before he died. His butler for 18 years has told The Telegraph. So as far as we know, this picture that you're looking at of Epstein and his butler is the last picture of Epstein alive. Damn. And look, to be fair, he looks a little bit old here. Now, some people are speculating online that this picture is fake. This picture is not fake. This guy who's his butler has a tremendous amount of evidence, and, he's got pictures with a bunch of Epstein's friends, Epstein himself, pictures of Epstein's place in Paris. He was a close confidant of Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein trusted him completely. And this guy's basically coming out and telling his story. Now, before I continue, let me just say, look at what Jeffrey Epstein is wearing in this picture. Look at what he's wearing. Ladies and gentlemen, that is an IDF sweatshirt. That's what he's wearing. You're really not doing much for, the narrative that you're Mossad. If people were trying to debunk that, if people were trying to downplay that and act like it's not true, man, they got a tough hill to climb now, because this is the number one knock on him, right? And there's a lot of evidence. I mean, there's evidence of people close to Epstein that say that he admitted to them at times that he was Mossad. And that's on top of, like, a number of former Israeli prime ministers coming to visit him on a regular basis. I mean, he was close with Ehud Barak, right? So, damn. This is too on the nose, isn't it? The last known picture of Jeffrey Epstein alive wearing an IDF sweatshirt. Come on, man. Come on, you can't script that shit. But anyway, so his butler's like, there's no way he killed himself. No way at all. I was Epstein's butler for 18 years. There's no way he killed himself. Trusted aide tells of life in disgraced financiers' inner circle, which included Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, and Woody Allen. Jeffrey Epstein loved life too much to kill himself and was confident of securing bail before he died. His butler for 18 years has told The Telegraph. Now, this only feeds further into the speculation that Trump was the one who had him offed. Because who was president when Jeffrey Epstein was offed? Who does Jeffrey Epstein also happen to have a tremendous amount of dirt on? The person who was president, right? Trump literally had to, this was reported by Michael Wolff, he said Trump had to call people in his inner circle and tell them, like, I didn't have him killed, I promise, I didn't have him killed. Which is only the most chilling thing ever, that the president feels like he has to tell people, oh, I didn't have him killed. In an interview that will heap renewed pressure on the Trump administration to make the Epstein files public, one of his closest aides said he had spoken to the pedophile financier before he died and insisted he had been in good spirits. Valdson Vieira Cochran, who ran Epstein's Paris home, told The Telegraph he could not accept the official verdict of suicide and feared that his own life was in danger. He also said he believed that Virginia Giuffre, the Epstein victim who accused Prince Andrew of rape and died by suicide in April, was a victim of foul play. So not only does he think that Epstein was murdered, he thinks Virginia Giuffre was murdered too. Mr. Cochran also made the extraordinary claim to The Telegraph that Epstein told him he had been offered a job by Donald Trump in his first administration in 2016, but had turned it down. There's no evidence that the allegation is true, and Mr. Trump had maintained that he stopped speaking to Epstein in 2004 after they fell out over a business deal. But Mr. Cochran's, that's not true either, by the way. He was kicked out of Mar-a-Lago in like 2007. But Mr. Cochran's recollection of a conversation with his boss will fuel a growing demand for the full Epstein files, the trove of documents from the criminal investigations into the financier that allegedly named high-profile celebrities and politicians, possibly including Mr. Trump, to be released. In his exclusive interview with The Telegraph, Mr. Cochran, speaking for the first time on the record, also alleged that Prince Andrew visited Epstein in St. Tropez along with a British photographer famous for taking pictures of naked girls and accused of having sex with a 13-year-old. That guy was caught red-handed, man. One of the biggest freaks and perverts out there, Prince Andrew. That interview he did to try to cover up his crimes was probably the worst interview I've ever seen in my life. Prince Andrew was a frequent guest at Epstein's Paris townhouse with royal protection bodyguards paid for by the British taxpayer. Ghislaine Maxwell was the authoritarian boss who gave the orders in the Epstein household, and Epstein gave money to Woody Allen to finance one of his movies. Mr. Cochran remains in possession of a number of photographs taken with friends of Epstein, including a photo of himself with Bill Clinton on the so-called Lolita Express, Epstein's private plane that he had used to traffic underage girls and women for sex. And here's a picture of them. Obviously, this is an older picture, but this is Cochran with with Bill Clinton. So the bombshell in that is, according to Cochran, Epstein told him Trump offered Epstein a position in his White House. Assuming that's true, which, holy shit. Yes, that was back when the Epstein thing wasn't as, 2016 would have been really before, peak Epstein interest, right? And look, is it possible that could have been Trump's way of trying to be like, hey, I know you got dirt on me, but if I let you in to the if I give you a nice cushy little White House job, get your name cleared, allow you back into polite society and all that stuff, we good, dog? Can we call it even Steven in that scenario? So I wouldn't be surprised if that's accurate, because if you're Trump and this guy's got a tremendous amount of dirt on you, as he does, well, with you going to the White House, you're going to try to offer an olive branch to be like, hey man, we cool? I'll help you out if you help me out. You keep everything on the low, what you know about me. And in return for that, what do you want, dog? You want to be, whatever, ambassador to France? You want to be, you tell me, and I'll hook you up with a nice cushy little government job, clear your name, make it look like you're official. I could absolutely positively see that. And by the way, this is yet another example. For the life of me, I can't understand the media. When we learned that Epstein was Trump's best friend for a decade, as Epstein is on literal audio tape saying, and nobody in the media covered it, and this was a week or two before the election, I was like, what is wrong with these people? Cover the important news. This is super fucking important, right? And now we have another example where here you have Epstein's butler of 18 years, and we know it is because all the pictures, all the evidence, right? He's like, Trump offered Epstein a job in the government, and nobody's covering it. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody mentioned it. I haven't seen anybody other than the Telegraph bring this up. It blows my mind, bro. It blows my mind. Here you have the number one human trafficker, pedophile, rapist, who ran Elite Pedo Sex Crimes Incorporated with all these rich and famous people and politicians and businessmen. And he was offered a job by the pedo human trafficking president. I mean, imagine for a second that it was a Democratic president that offered Jeffrey Epstein a job in his administration to try to keep, his crimes on the low. If it was, and Bill Clinton, obviously we know Bill Clinton was super involved with Epstein and is a criminal in his own respect, of course. But if it was a Bill Clinton offering Epstein a job in his White House, this would have been, every single conservative outlet in the country would have been screaming it from the rooftops and calling him a disgusting pervert, pedophile, right? And here it is with Trump, and I really don't hear anybody talking about it. So absolutely wild stuff. Now, I should also point out, though, that this guy Cochran, he was for 18 years, he was close to Jeffrey Epstein. He was really good friends with him, and he was his butler. And he says, oh no, he only had young girls come over to massage him and clip his fingernails and his toenails. That's all. What? What? No, he liked young girls and he had them come over, but he didn't do anything wrong with them, bro. He just had them massage his neck and stuff and cut his finger. That's all, bro. The reason he's saying this is, of course, because he fears liability in his own respect, right? He fears criminal charges coming against his ass for being in that environment for 18 years and never blowing the whistle, right? That's why I think he's saying that, is because he fears that. But outside of him trying to protect his own ass, look, there's a lot of there, and I see no reason to doubt a lot of the stuff that he's saying. So, I don't know, man. That seems like a big deal to me. Trump, in an attempt to shut up the guy who had all the dirt in the world on him, offered him a job. Epstein rejected it. And oh, would you look at that? He wound up dead 3 years later. And it was in a federal prison at the same time Donald Trump was president. And Bill Barr was attorney general, by the way. There's links there, too, with Bill Barr and Epstein. So, absolutely wild stuff, bro. Absolutely wild stuff. Every time you learn something new about this Epstein thing, you go, this is fucking stranger than fiction. This is the strangest thing I've ever seen. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.